But I think he's really worried about how people are going to view him, especially because he is Muslim and like his religion and everything. But I had to tell someone. So with the way that last night went, I could really see a proposal, and I think hopefully he changed his mind. Better now that we finally.
Okay, so first and foremost, she finally gets what she wanted, and that was for this man to sleep with her. And of course, it was already revealed at the very beginning by herself that he had told her that despite being a man who is a Muslim, he's more than happy to sleep with her before marriage. But once she arrived there, he then said, no. I have to wait until we marry before I can sleep with you. So therefore, she made it a mission to make sure that this man would sleep with her and also propose to her. So what's she done here? She's finally got him to sleep with her. And then the first thing that she does is open her big mouth. She said, I had to tell someone. I've waited so long to convince this man to want to sleep with me. So long, so much that now I cannot contain the excitement of the fact that it really happened. So now I need to tell someone. And that person happened to be a bloody producer. So she couldn't ring up one of her girls, and be like, hey girl, so I finally slept with him. She couldn't do that, no. She had to tell a producer. Oh, and obviously us as well on top of that. That is absolutely diabolical behavior. But anyway, it gets worse.
We did have sex. I think this means that we're getting a lot closer, but he still doesn't know about the whole Muhammad situation. And
well, before we get into the whole Muhammad situation, so now you slept with the man. She's now expecting him to now want to propose to her. Now she slept with the man, that must mean he's going to love her more. To be fair, she did ask him multiple times, so tell me the percentage of how much you love me. And he's like, I'm now at 70%. I didn't know love came in percentages, to be honest with you. See, if you love someone, you don't. But anyway, we'll continue.
I feel like if I'm going to be that serious about him and our relationship, I don't want there to be any secrets. I don't want to lie to him about anything. The last thing that I want to happen. But I know that I'm going to need to tell him sooner rather than later.
Somebody asked, listen, I've got to ask the question. I've got to ask this question. So she said, if I'm going to be serious about him, then I got to tell him about the whole Muhammad situation. So you're telling me that this whole time she's been grafting to get this man in her bed. She's been grafting for this man to propose to her. And grafting for so many other things. She wasn't being serious the whole time? It makes sense though, doesn't it? Because remember before they were at the dinner table with Zaid and his friend, and he even asked her, so what about this guy that you was talking to the same time as me? She downplayed the whole thing. She could have told him then and there the whole situation, but I guess she wasn't being serious yet. Okay. It's interesting though, isn't it? Because if you flip the shoe on the other foot, let's say for example it had been Zaid behaving the way she's behaving, and he said, you know what, I'm going to sleep with her first, and then I'm going to take it seriously. But not only am I going to sleep with her first, but then I'm going to tell her about this other girl that I was talking to and what really went down. If the shoe was on the other foot, the man would be called so many different words. But you see, because she's a woman, she's gone about it in a way where she's like, yeah, so I'm going to sleep with him first. Exposing to his culture as well, that I just slept with him by telling every single one of us. And you know what the maddest thing about it is as well? Just for extra context, when she was revealing the fact that they finally slept together and she had to tell someone, she also revealed the fact that, the thing that she could, what is the crazy thing is she could obviously call one of her girls, right? But either way though, in the same sentence, she even said, it wasn't that big. It wasn't small. But it will do. It's crazy because even in that sentence, she's basically saying that even though the size isn't what I want it to be, I'm happy to settle for it as long as this man's going to propose to me by the time I leave this freaking trip. Honestly, the level of stupidity, the level of desperation is insane. I don't know where she gets her brain cells for. Does she get the brain cells from her wig, or does she get it from the excess amount of makeup? I don't know how this girl, what? How is she functioning? It's crazy business. Because none of the things that comes out of her mouth is really making sense. But like I said before, she just wasn't being serious up until now. But now that they've slept together, she's now going to be serious by telling him the truth about what he asked for originally. But if the shoe is on the other foot, anyway. That is the madness with Emma so far this season. And honestly, this woman just continuously he's proven one simple thing. Brains don't exist under that wig. But anyway, let's get into the next one. So, we got Laurel and Burkhan.
So, instead of a gift for Valentine's Day, I sent you money.
Yeah.
Did you gamble that?
Yeah.
It was like $150, yeah.
Yeah, and that makes 5,000 liras. We made it 20, I guess, and we paid.
You know, sometimes people just don't understand the principle of what somebody's trying to say. Bro, it doesn't matter how much you earn. Listen, she gave you money for Valentine's as a gift. You went and gambled it. To be fair, the money was given to you, and it's entirely up to him what he wants to do with the money, right? Because at that moment in time, the money's now his because it was a gift. So to be fair, should he be called out for then going to the gambling shop and gambling so he can make into more? I guess subjectively, you can't really call him out because it was given to him and it was up to him what he wanted to do with it. It's not like she gave it to him under the instruction of the fact that he asked for it because he wanted to buy something specific. That would be very different. But nah, she just gifted him money for Valentine's, which is very strange. Very, very strange.
Pay your rent?
Money that I sent you for you, and if you would have lost it and been like, hey, I lost the money that you gave me, I would be livid. I'm actually kind of livid right now.
I'm livid that you sent him money for Valentine's, to be honest with you. But, listen, I can understand, obviously, the point of view that she's looking at. She's obviously looking at is, the principle is I sent you money for you to do something good with it. But instead of you do something good with it, you decided to gamble it, which means you could have lost it. And if you lost it, then therefore it would have made me feel like I gave you money for nothing. So I completely understand her frustrations and her perspective on the matter itself in particular. But like I said, you gave him money without instruction. You just said, hey, babe, this is your money for Valentine's. That's it. And he decided to do whatever the hell he wanted to do with it. So that's where you got to be clear with the instructions. But I understand, though, there is also unspoken rules. If somebody gives you something, you don't waste it. If somebody gives something, you appreciate it and, you take good care of it or whatever it is. So to be fair, there is also that principle as well. So really and truly, when you're looking at it, who's more wrong and who's more right in the situation, I guess on principle, Laura's more right. But hey, we continue.
Addiction? Gambling is not an addiction for me. If I was addicted, I don't care if I lose or win.
You come to America, and we're sharing our life, we're sharing our money, we're sharing our banks. Yeah. Are you going to pick it up and gamble it? Because you just... Money. Well, it would be our money.
No, it's your money.
Guy's full of it. It'd be your money. Like, what?
How I don't gamble with your money, but I win your money.
Oh, until you feel like you're successful, you're going to keep gambling?
Yeah.
If I was her, I'd run. I'd absolutely run because the matter of fact is, even though he denies having a gambling addiction, it is very clear that when he comes across money, what he thinks about is how to expand it, which isn't a bad thing. I like the fact that when he sees money, he thinks of how can I make it more. I love that concept, but he's going about it in a way that isn't necessarily everybody's cup of tea. He's going about it in ways that isn't exactly always a guarantee. Now, don't get it twisted. Sometimes when you do try and double your money or triple your money or whatever, sometimes it's not necessarily guaranteed depending on how you want to do it. That is a fair point. But at the same time, though, some things give you a learned experience that can help you do things better the next time. Is gambling really one of those things? I don't know. I mean, look at it this way. You could literally have money today and you could decide to open up a shop or open up a business of any kind, and the business could either go well or go bad. Now, of course, if it goes bad, the good thing about it is you can learn from why it went bad, and then if you want to reopen the business again, at least you now have learned from your mistakes. But if you gamble today on a horse or something like that, and then the horse doesn't win the race, well, what do you really learn? You learn that you should now gamble on the horse that won the next time, but does that guarantee you? Do you see what I'm saying? If you gamble on a football game, just because this team wins today, it doesn't mean they're now going to win another time. Do you see what I'm saying? So really and truly, gambling is too much of a risk compared to, gambling doesn't really come with a learning, in my opinion. But then again, though, I've never been a gambler. So maybe there's something that a gambler can tell me that I don't know. But at the same time, if a gambler try to convince me that, yeah, there's learning curves from gambling that can make you a better gambler, I'd probably question that person a lot, to be honest with you. But we'll continue.
Super alarming to me to hear that he thinks that this is the best way to make money. And knowing that I will be financially responsible for him concerns me greatly.
And that is why she should run. Because here's the thing, let's go back to the statement that was made before. He said your money is your money, so I would never gamble your money, even though she was saying that my money will be your money, which, to be fair, she's not wrong in any type of form. If they get married, technically speaking, a relationship, all your money is together. Listen, I'm going to tell you this now, folks, okay? If you are in a relationship with somebody that you are living with, not married, but even if you're living with your partner, okay? If you do not see your money together, has your money together, that is a big, big problem, okay? I'm not saying that 100% you should have a joint account. Okay, 100%. And that joint account, you should have a certain amount of money that goes into it. Now, what I always say is that, let's say, for example, you and your partner are getting paid $1,500 a month each. Let's just say that for just for sakes, right? And therefore, that's $3,000. That means you two are $3,000 together. You don't have $1,500 individual. No, it's together. Now, in that joint account, this is what I always say. In the joint account, okay, you would then both put in £1,000 each. So that means in that joint account, there is now $2,000 in there, okay? That will cover the bills amongst other expenses that need to be covered as well. But then you both have £500 each. Within those £500 each now, okay, what you can then do is you can then use that either as your own pocket money for certain things, or you can then do the smart thing. Out of that 500, you can then maybe take 200 each and put that 200 each into savings, which therefore means now you've got 400 in savings together. And also out of the 2,000, after all the bills and shopping, everything's come out, even the extras left in that, also add that to your savings. And therefore it gives you both £300 for pocket change to do whatever you want. Now remember, this is based on 3,000. Of course, in today's society with inflation and whatnot, I'm pretty sure people are earning way much more than that together. So some of you guys together right now may be in a salary of 5,000 together, 6,000 together, 10,000 together, right? Okay, so do what you will with my example. Okay, this is how people should be structuring their monies in relationships, you know. But so here's the thing: if you're in a situation like Laura now, okay, she's with a guy like him, and let's say for example she marries him, he comes to America, but then they'd have a divorce. He then goes off and starts to gamble all this money. The problem that she's going to be in is that she's going to be liable for all the debts he's going to come into within that time, which is why she shouldn't be with this guy at any point, in any shape or form. Even if they're married and he doesn't ever gamble her money and it's always good, just understand if they break up, he's then going to go back into it again, 100%. If he feels like the problem is that, and this is how you know he's addicted to gambling, even though he doesn't think he is, because he wins so much. That proves that he's addicted. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you can flip it, you know? So there is that concept too. But either way though, just use my little example there of how, you know, generally speaking, I believe people should go about their expenses when it comes to, and also the reason why it's important to obviously have, and the reason why it's important to have, you know, obviously that little pocket money each is obviously if you want to surprise the other person, at least they can't check the bank account to see what you surprised them with, you know what I mean? So you can't have all of it all in one account, but how the hell are you going to surprise your partner? Because I know for sure, you know, you're always going to have that one partner in the relationship that's always checking that account. So yeah, it's the best way to go about it, you know? So realistically, you have the joint account, you have your individual account, you have your savings account. That's 4 accounts you should have across the board. All right. And then therefore any other accounts you can make will also be for other benefits as well. But hey, if you're not doing that in your relationship, and your relationship as well, I get 2,000, I get paid 2,000 a month, and she gets paid 3,000 a month or whatever, okay? But you never see your monies as together, and it's just like my money is my money. Yeah, trust me when I tell you, your relationship is financially doomed anyway. You can't tell me otherwise. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. Boom, back. Let's get into this one. This is Lisa and Daniel, and this one was something else.
The relationship is perfect.
Why?
Do you know why?
No.
Because you have transformed his life. You should continue doing that. Don't deviate from it.
And you see, you help him in different areas. He's just like an angel into his life.
Woo! Yeah, when they started saying this love bombing BS, I was like, yeah, these guys are in on the scam. Yep. The amount of women that they've probably done the same game on is crazy. They've all probably got a woman from America or a woman from somewhere, and they all meet together and they always do this. Give that woman a hype. Make her feel like she's this queen, she's this angel, she's this savior. Ah, man. And it's crazy because the reason why this tactic is actually quite smart is because, you see, one thing that a lot of women cannot deny, if not probably all women cannot deny, if anything, right, is that complex of feeling like they are there to better their man's life. They are there and they're able to save their man's life. They're there to able to help improve their man's life. You know, that's something that does make a woman feel good due to their nurturing nature. Of course, if she's not nurturing, then I guess she's not going to have that complex, right? But generally speaking, people that have that nurturing type of stuff, yeah, they're gonna love what they're being fed here. Do you see what I'm saying? But the thing is, though, Lisa, on the other hand, well, her point of view was a bit different. Her reaction was a bit different.
All I'm hearing right now is I am Daniel's savior. He is a new man. It's giving me a bit of a pause.
But the thing is, Daniel was talking to another girl on social media at the same time he was talking to.
Oh, before we get into that one, let's talk about what she says. It's giving her a little bit of a pause. Why is it giving her a pause? Is it giving her a pause because of what she's about to say, or is it giving her a pause because maybe she doesn't really have that much of a nurturing nature? To be fair, she does, because she's always sending the money. Of course she does. But it's kind of interesting that how she's got more of a nurturing nature of sending this guy money all the time rather than just being there for her child. It's kind of interesting that she's got this nurturing nature about moving 15 times for 15 different people, but never really thinking about the impact that she's making on her child. So basically, she's somebody that only has a caring nature if it benefits herself. So that's one to be careful about, because some people do have a caring nature, a nurturing nature, but a caring nature, whatever, yeah. But sometimes it's for themselves and it's never for you. And that's something that you have to learn to be able to identify, because if Lisa right now, her nurturing nature is all about herself, and that is proof because she's always neglected who should be the most important person in her life, and that is her child. Being able to learn the difference, pay attention, folks.
Be honest, because I will walk out if you're not.
A couple months ago, an American woman got in touch with me on social media and basically told me Daniel was talking to her at the same time he was talking to me. Personal pictures Daniel sent to her of himself. And he called her baby. That hurt me. It's still...
It's funny because in this conversation, she talks about how he better tell me the truth, otherwise I'm going to walk out. I'm sorry, but this woman has already come into your life, already told you all these things, giving you proof, but you didn't walk out. So why would you walk out now? Especially after you've taken the trip all the way from the United States to Nigeria as well. Don't talk nonsense to us. But anyway, let's continue.
It hurts me. After he blocked her, I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and I deleted the screenshots because I believed him, wondering if this woman was right. And Daniel was just looking for any American woman who was willing to respond.
I don't know why she's trying to accuse me.
Have you pursued Americans before, Lisa?
I do talk to other women. I only chat them, ask them how they're doing, ask them how the day went, That's the only thing I do. Lisa is the first lady that came into my life.
I'm gonna call it out right now. Oh boy, I mean, I genuinely feel like what's gonna happen at the tell-all, they're going to find some random American woman that they're going to bring up at the tell-all to be the one that was speaking to Lisa, or a woman that has spoken to Daniel in the past and has tried to use her to come to America. Because you know how they always, there's always somebody that's mentioned. It's like, remember the Tyree story, right? Where Tyree was obviously being scammed by this person, and, it was somehow Sharp Entertainment, TLC, 90 Day Fiancé, who actually went out of the way to find the girl that was being used to scam Tyree, that was a stripper but wasn't actually the one talking to him. So they got her on the show to make an appearance so he can have a conversation with her about the fact that, so therefore she can tell him that she has no idea who he is and he was being scammed. But then also on top of that, they also were able to go out of the way to find the email of the actual person that was scamming Tyree. So therefore that person could then expose himself to tell us that, yeah, he was actually... You see what I'm saying? You know how they're always able to find certain people? Did it with Shekinah and Sapa. They found the woman that was a therapist or whatever, the woman that he slept with, that he knew from America or whatever. They got her appearing on the show as well. Oh my days. I mean, who was the guy? The guy that passed away, unfortunately. David, I think it was. He went all the way to Russia. The woman had literally done some madness to him over time. Always stood him up. But somehow TLC finally got her to show up and finally got her to explain herself. Oh, that's crazy business. So yeah, I am expecting 9% expecting a woman from America to turn up at the tell-all and to be like, yeah, Daniel was talking to me. And yeah, these are the screenshots. Yeah. Oh man, copy and paste. But anyway. Please at the same time though, please be aware of people who are around you who are generally trying to care for you, in a nurturing way, compared to the people who aren't really caring about nurturing you. They do it for their own benefit, because trust me, the two feel and look very, very similar. but they're not the same. And sometimes it can be hard to notice it, but you got to start putting two to two together. And it's the best way that I can say for you to be able to notice it, at least from my perspective anyway, is paying attention to how people say certain things. It's very, very, very key. How people say things is very, very key. My mind's gone blank now, so let's move on to the rest of the video because I can't think of the rest of my advice there. But I'll get back to you guys, but if I can rethink of other ideas, examples. That's the one.
I didn't want to bring up my role in the marriage, but sometimes I feel like I'm not being appreciated. Sometimes I feel like I'm stepping on landmines unintentionally. I don't know how to navigate around the landmines.
I'm not gonna lie to you folks, man. It's never helped to be in a relationship like that. To feel like you feel unappreciated. But at the same time, though, we also got to be very, 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 very careful about feeling unappreciated, because sometimes we are appreciated, but we just don't see that we are appreciated. All right, and the reason why sometimes people don't see that they're unappreciated is because people are too busy thinking about me, rather than thinking about what is this person actually been doing for me. And let's not get twisted. When I say that, sometimes people can sit there and think about, okay, so what has this person done for me that's made me feel great? You see that? You see what I said there? What has this person done for me that's made me feel great? Because you've already put a positive motion in your mind, that means anything you're going to think about now, your mind is only thinking about great things this person's done. If you cannot think about great things, then there's a problem, right? But if you say, oh, but what has this person actually done for me that's actually been any good for me? Like, what the hell? You're probably going to be thinking more about the negative things than you are going to be thinking about the good things. So just bear that in mind. But also, to be fair, the fact that you followed up with landmines, that's not good. If you feel like you're walking on eggshells or landmines, like he said, which to be fair, I do like that one. I prefer that one. I feel like I'm walking on landmines rather than the eggshells. I like that one. That's clean. Anyway. If you're ever in that position, it's a simple solution. Voice yourself. Have a conversation. Say, hey, this is how I'm feeling. And I want us to talk about this because I don't want to feel like this no more. Now, I've only just noticed this. This was never going to be part of the video, but why the hell has this girl got a bruise on her arm? I'm fully noticing her bruise on her arm right now. Can you see it? See that there? Where the mouse is? That's interesting. I hope it's got nothing to do with these two. Yeah.
Asking for much. I'm not even a woman that you have to spend a lot providing. As much as he provides monetarily, doesn't mean I'm not doing my part. I've been patient so long. That was my contribution. I stayed all along. He knows.
At first I was like, okay, where are you going with this? But when she said being patient, damn. But then the more I thought about it, when she said I'm being patient, does she mean just being patient with him because the way he is? Is she saying that she's allowed a lot of things to go over her head and allowed a lot of things to slide because she wishes that he could treat her better? And that's what she means when she talks about patience? It's a very interesting one.
What sets me off, he knows what hurts my feelings, he knows what offends me. We've never been together before, so... But then, how much more?
See, this is the part that's the maddest part, right? These two have been together for 6 years, but it's only now, after 6 years, they finally spend time together and they're married already.
What you're saying is because I'm provide, you gotta be soft. Because if I react a certain way, you're uncomfortable with my emotion.
Translating it right to you, but the way I view it is, it's like, look, I work hard to do X, Y, and Z. So, I want a light bulb to come on and be like, my husband works really hard, so I'm gonna make sure his day is positive to me all the time. You don't think how that makes me feel, like sometimes?
See, this is what I like now. He's voicing himself. He's voicing why he said what he said. Because obviously she does certain things that makes him feel this way. The question is, what is her response? Well, let's get into it.
No, you're nagging me all the time. You don't think how that makes me feel, like sometimes? Like when somebody's constantly criticizing you when they're supposed to be on your side?
It's not easy being your woman, putting up with your tantrums, stubbornness, whining. It takes a lot of patience to be with you. I know some women would have given up already.
So, this conversation was going well when he obviously initiated by talking about how she makes him feel, obviously always criticizing him, never making him feel good. And, he's obviously there in America working hard and doing what he can to send her money. So therefore she's living a very good life and all that kind of stuff. And when he's around, all she wants to do is just nitpick about this, nitpick about that. There's a good chance that maybe Annalene is just the problem. Maybe she does want to always point at this and point at that, and doesn't really ever want to sit down and be like, you know what, my man has done these things for me. I wouldn't have this if my man wasn't working hard for me. Do you know what I mean? So I do understand his point of view about his frustrations. You know, no matter what he does work-wise to provide for her, there's always something that she wants to complain about, and that's never a good thing. So maybe she does over-complain. Maybe she does complain about things that are just not needed. And to be honest with you, she does. One of the complaints that she makes is that he's always moody or whatever, like always down and stuff. Well, here's the thing. Has she ever tried to create like a safe space for him? Because here's the thing, you know, people sometimes who don't work don't understand how stressful life can be for people that do work. So given the fact that he's always working and earning money, not just for his own living purposes in America, but also for her living purposes in the Philippines, right? Or Thailand. Is it Philippines? One of the two, anyway. The thing that she's not understanding is that obviously he's going to have a lot of stress. So therefore, whenever he wants to be, so whenever he's going to talk to her or be around her, of course, he's only going to want to hear her saying amazing things, things that are comforting, things that are smooth, things that is going to allow him to unwind from his day. But if she's not doing that, then it does make sense why he's feeling this way. And it also makes sense why she's feeling the way she's feeling, because you see, if she's not allowing him to feel good when he's around her, then his reaction is going to be the way it is, and her reaction is going to be the way it is, which is why they are where they are. But this is where this conversation went south. The conversation went south when she said, but if it was any other girls, they wouldn't tolerate this. Oh my goodness gracious. That is one of the worst things people ever say. I hate it when people say that. Oh, but if it was any other girl, if it was any other man. Bruh, if you're going to say that, leave now. Because why are we doing Go Compare? You know, why are we doing confused.com? Why are we doing this meerkat? What's going on here? Compare the market type BS. It doesn't matter if somebody else would put up with it. If you're choosing to put up with it, then own it. You can't sit there and talk about, oh, but if it was somebody else that had left by now. Okay, well, leave then. So you think you're better than somebody else because you stayed? Come on now. That is one of the most annoying, toxic, gaslighting, unnecessarily waste of a time sentences ever. I promise you now, folks, if you're ever in a conversation with somebody and they utter those words, please walk out. I'm not saying leave the person, but just walk out. Just leave the conversation and walk out. Don't even waste your time in that moment in time. Walk out and really think hard about if this person's worth your time, and really think hard if it's worth you going back in that room or ringing or picking up the phone call to continue your conversation. Because honestly, that is going to be one of those comments it's a comment that is so degrading. You know, it's a comment that it's just horrible. It's mean. It's just But anyway, that's why she really went south with me there. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. And trust me when I tell you, I'm not projecting. I just really hate that comment. If it was someone else, they wouldn't tolerate this. Okay, well, it's not my fault that you want to tolerate it. But let's continue.
We struggled to get along during our honeymoon. How are we gonna get along for the rest of our lives?
Come here, sit on my lap.
Together 6 years in a long-distance relationship, and now that we're finally get to be together physically, you see everything about that Javon and I can take all the good with the bad, but
let's just let this sink in. 6 years together, already married, and now for the first time they're spending time together. Did she not realize, or did they not realize that they were supposed to do all of these things? Get past all of these things, all these barriers, before getting married? Such a typical 90-day fiancé type of couple. But anyway, let's get into the main event. Let's get into this waste of space. Oh my goodness gracious me.
When you weren't talking to me, I started talking to my ex. She was like the only one that, was there to listen to me. Book a trip, going to Colombia, to be with my ex. Lonely and abandoned. I thought that she didn't want me anymore.
You have sex with her? Did you?
Yes.
Rick is a waste, man. This guy. Look, you see the way he set it up. The way he set it up. So, because you wasn't here for me. Bro, you're a grown-ass freaking man. You're 52 years of age. Sit the hell up, speak with your chest, and just be honest about what you did. Laying there, like a sad little puppy. Sorry, let me not insult puppies. Like a sad, immature old man. Yeah, let's just call it what it is. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? How is she supposed to take him seriously moving forward if he can't even tell her things with his chest? Really and truly, listen. And do you know what the maddest thing is now? This is the funny bit, okay? Actually, no, it's not funny. It's funny to me, but it's not. Okay, anyway, listen. This is the flip side. Earlier on today, I spoke about Emma and Zayed. I spoke about it, but if this was a man now, this would be so different. Because you see, Emma waited to sleep with her man first before eventually at some point going to tell him about this Miami dude. This mofo has been sleeping with her multiple times, been clapping those cheeks, man. Bought a waterbed, he even bought them little outfits to wear for role play and everything. He's been clapping that cheek since he's arrived in Madagascar. You know what I mean? That's he wasted no time. And now all of a sudden he's decided to tell her the truth. Oh my goodness gracious. And the maddest thing is, not only has he been sleeping with this woman, spreading those legs, not only has he been doing that, but in that whole time, he's also been trying to interrogate her and trying to get her to confess to cheating on him first before he opened his mouth. Pure scumbag behavior. This woman has no right in any shape or form to forgive this man. No, kick this man to the curb. Absolutely dash him. Same as Zayed. Zayed needs to dash Emma to the curb. The only difference is that Emma didn't really cheat on him now, did she? She was just still... She just ghosted him to then get... No. Zayed should kick Emma to the curb because Zayed is nothing but a rebound, second choice, that type of BS. You see what I'm saying? Both of these two should be kicked to the curb. Okay? Look at these Americans. Doing the foreigners dirty like this. What's going on here? What's wrong with you Americans, man? Anyway, let's continue.
This is something we can work through, babe.
Shut up. How could you do that to me? We were together.
We're there. And I told you after a couple days, I said, if I don't hear from you, then I'm going to assume that it's over, that you don't want me anymore.
I'm going to assume?
Reply to your messages. I did reply to your call. And I even told you I'll call you when I'm free.
You call you, and then you said that I was stalking you. That sounds like to me that you didn't want to be with me. Because I wanted us to build something together. I wanted to share, precious time with you.
You know, for a man that says, I wanted to build time with you and wanted to spend some precious time with you, well then, why did you step out and go to Colombia and still sleep with another woman? You never cared about this woman. You never cared about any shape or form. Boy, you lying. Anyway, listen, end of the day, Ricky, he's a clown.
Oh, you were different. I can trust you. You even promised me there, like, I won't hurt you, Trisha.
In person, we've consummated our relationship. We have a stronger bond now.
The fact that he even had the audacity to say that we're stronger now because we even consummated our relationship, bro, that's the problem. That's the problem. Listen, if there was going to be any chance of her forgiving him or for this relationship to ever work, he should have told her about his actions from the moment it happened. Okay? If you step out and you don't tell the truth when it happens, it's game over at that point. But even if you step out and you tell someone the truth, even when it happens, it's still technically game over. Because to be honest with you, when infidelity is involved, it's only really wise for both parties to leave. Because what's going to happen is the person that has actually done the infidelity crime itself in particular, well, it's not a crime, but you know what I mean. Well, that person is going to live in this mindset for the rest of their relationship. That person thinking, oh, maybe I have to be careful about this. Well, maybe they're going to think I'm doing this. You're always going to be paranoid about every single step that you make. And then the person that's actually being cheated on, well, they're always going to be living with that perception of, I wonder if he or she's doing it again. Oh, they haven't rang me in like, they're 1 second late. What's going to happen? The paranoia that is created between both parties is not it. People talk about how, our infidelity made our relationship stronger. We're stronger now than when we were before, blah, 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 blah. I mean, listen. Maybe that's true, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like people are just saying that because they're just lying to themselves. Because some people stick around because they just don't want to go and find someone new. Some people stick around because they got kids. People just stick around and give themselves a stupid reason for whatever reason. But in my opinion, personally, once infidelity has happened, just call it what it is. Just call it quits. Just call it quits. But I will say this though, there's always an exception to everything in life. Let's say, for example, right now you're with somebody and cheating does happen. But then you obviously break up, you go separate ways, but then you happen to bump into each other sometime way later after you've matured even more. They've also matured even more and they've changed even more. And then you reconnect organically like that. That is the exception. But if you cheat on someone today and you're still together, Okay, cool. Just understand, neither one of you two are ever gonna grow out of it. And yeah, just call it a spade for spade.
Don't you see that?
I'm ashamed of what I did. No
You were
problem.
not even ashamed. Explain to you after the 5 days, but you still went to Colombia. Explain to you after the 5 days, but you still went to Colombia. So why didn't you cancel?
Because even after those 5 days, things still didn't add up. I thought you were cheating on me, and I felt like
it's my fault. Even if she already explained to me, I will still go because I want to revenge her.
in some ways that's true.
You see, the man had a chance to cancel, but he still went regardless. And then he even admits that I just went at it out of spite. Nasty work. Absolutely, utterly nasty, ugly work. At least he was honest about it though. I'll give him that. But hey, if this woman gives him another chance, then boy, shame on you. Shame on you. Yep. Yeah. Either way, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. We'll talk about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.